Hi guys, it's Music on Fire 10. I am back. This is another video that I am just sharing about being organized as a student. So last week on my website I had an article entitled, it was a weekly article entitled Tips for the Busy Student. I feel like any student is busy, so I guess I should have just said tips for the student. So this is a concept that I came up with last year. Actually, I was a sophomore in college, so a couple years ago now, because I just graduated in May. And it is called the 5-Day Study Plan, and it is created by somebody at Emory University, so I cannot take credit for it. However, it is one of the things that happened at Emory that I'm really happy about and that helped me a lot. So I'm in medical school now, and I use this technique before our last quiz, and it helped me quite a bit. I actually got an A on that quiz, so yeah, tried and proven. You all should put it into use, I would think. If you need some way to stay organized, this is one way to do it. So I'm probably going to add in some little transitions here with words in it so that you can write down what I'm saying, because I'm going to go talk pretty fast. So the first thing you need to do is chop up the work that you have for your exam or your quiz or whatever into 4 chunks or sections. So you need 4 chunks. Now the first chunk should be the one that you're planning to focus on the most. Be it because that's going to be the most questions on the test, or because it's the most difficult part of the exam in your opinion, or any reason. The first chunk would be the most important because you're going to revisit it the most amount of times. So as I said, 4 chunks. You chop your work up into those 4 chunks. Getting organized, right? So on the first day, you need to begin this study plan at least 5 days before your exam. Okay, so your first day, you're going to study chunk 1 for 2 hours, and that's it. The second day, you're going to begin with chunk 2. Day 2, begin with chunk 2. You're going to study chunk 2 for 2 hours, and chunk 1 for 1.5 hours. The third day, you begin with chunk 3. Chunk 3 for 2 hours, chunk 2 for 1.5, and chunk 1 for 1 hour. The fourth day, you're going to study chunk 4 for 2 hours, chunk 3 for 1.5, chunk 2 for 1 hour, and chunk 1 for like 30 minutes, right? The day before the exam, which will be day 5, you're going to study each chunk for 1 hour, and then you're going to take a practice test of some sort, which you can usually find online. You can speak to your teacher about that. You can make up your own. A lot of teachers provide past questions so that you'll know at least the types of questions you're going to see on the test. A lot of teachers do that, so just ask them about it. You know, never know what they'll say. So, that being said, the reason why I'm such an advocate of this study plan, first of all, I've used it before and it really works. Secondly, the idea of revisiting material that you've gone over in plenty of time before the test really makes me happy, because it allows you to get this information into your long-term memory, which is important because if your school is anything like mine, you're going to have several quizzes, but you're also going to have a midterm and a final, right? By the time the midterm comes up, you don't want to have to relearn everything that you've gone over. Studying it in this way, like I said, allows you to have it in your long-term memory, and so that you'll at least find it familiar in some respect. The way you do this, you know, the way you're going to be studying, you're going to find out that there are a lot of relationships between the material that you're studying. Those relationships will come to you easier if you go over it more than once in this way. So, like I said, you begin by chopping everything up in 4 chunks. I have the article on my website, and it would be great if you all will go there and read it. If you need to ask me anything you want about it. It's a wonderful, wonderful little study tool to use. The way I've changed it now, though, is that we have a quiz every 2 weeks, actually. So every single week I'm doing a 5-day study plan, because I want to make sure that I learn the material in such a way that at the end, by the time the midterm comes, this new material, I'll just have to glance at it. And then the material that we have right before the midterm, which will definitely be on there because that's how they do, will become a lot easier to me as well. So it's all about getting things into your long-term memory, which is wonderful. That way you won't have to cram. Cramming is not your friend. It does not matter if you were in undergrad, if you were in high school, if you were in medical school, law school, whatever. You cannot tell me that cramming helps you out, because it actually, at least for me, this way makes me feel a lot less nervous and anxious for the exam to happen. I feel more excited about it because I'm like, you know, I know this material because I've studied it so in depth that I know it, and I can make connections to things. Even if I don't know right away looking at the questions, I'll be able to make some sort of connection to be able to answer the question. and it has helped, like I said. So try it out and let me know how it works. Ask me any questions you need to. And as you know, I'm putting this in here. Little side note, I'm going to digress, yes. Another link that you can find at the bottom of this video is to the site to vote for me for the world's next top natural hair model, because I'm actually one of the fabulous 15 finalists. Still can't believe it, honestly, but it will make me really happy if y'all would vote for me. A little poor medical student living out here in Arizona where it's hot and dry, and it would make me really happy if you guys would get on there and vote for me, and let me know also how this study plan works, because the more people we can get out there loving school, you know, it is very difficult, but the more organized you are, I found, the better it is. You even have time to do other things, because I always have time to take dance classes and stuff like that. Just schedule everything around studying. And this is another good study plan. It also allows you not to be up all hours of the night fighting to stay asleep and, you know, gorging yourself full of coffee in order to stay awake. So sleep is very important. So try this out. Let me know how it works. See you guys later.